Hello, my name is Rick.
Ciao, my name is Millie.
And this is episode 9
Nove.
of season 3
Tre.
of
Yonks Ago. One of them would have been synced.
I reckon this
You
is
just
probably
do it
the
lots of
future.
times.
Just
Yeah.
a scattergun approach. We'll just throw a lot of Yonks Ago against the wall and hopefully a couple of them stick at the same
Exactly.
time.
Nice.
Season 3, could it be Donny B? Who is he? Just another bit of history that we're gonna get to know in a brand new little season of Yonks Ago. A father and a daughter putting on a show, finding out about people from Yonks Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Fact or fiction? We don't know. Y-O-N-K-S Ago.
And that's the theme song for today.
Yes.
It's episode 9, which we had a little chat beforehand. Feels like it should be a prime. We all
Yeah, I
agree.
always am like, oh yeah, 9, the prime,
9.
because it rhymes. But
It's sort of rhymes. You know what I
it
mean?
doesn't rhyme fully, but like if you chuck that in a song, you'd be
Yeah,
like,
or
oh,
a
yeah.
poem.
Oh,
You'd
a
get away
poem.
with it.
Yeah,
You'd
Who
get
cares?
away with it.
yeah.
What do they call it? Is that assonance? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like an almost rhyme.
Yeah,
And it's an almost prime.
yeah,
And
but no,
but definitely not a prime.
No.
Because of cheeky number 3.
yeah. Which is the season that we're in.
Oh, so season 3 is so the number 3 is the whole reason that 9 doesn't hold prime status.
Yeah,
Well, it all adds up. Maybe that's why we've spent so long talking about it,
probably.
because it's season 3.
Yeah.
It's the first, if you don't count number 1, which no one does,
No, who does?
it's the first odd number that isn't a prime.
Yeah.
It's a trendsetter. So it's special in its own way.
Yeah.
It would have
And
had
what's the next one? 15?
11.
Oh, wait, I was doing the next one that is a no, 11. What's 11?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking what the next
No,
one that is a prime.
yeah, well, no,
the next odd number that's not a prime. Yeah, 15. It's again, it's the cheeky number 3 that gets in there.
Yeah.
With a little help from 5 when it comes
Yeah,
to 15, sure. But so I reckon 9 would have had a lot of peer pressure from 3, 5, and 7.
I think
Go
so.
on, mate, we're all odd. Be prime. But three's like, I've got a different idea, 9. I'm gonna get all up in your grill.
3 is the imposter.
Yeah. So was that your microphone falling over, Amelia?
Yeah.
I don't know what tripod technology you're using, but you know what tripods
Got it. It's
rely on?
It's because I moved.
Do you know what tripods rely on, Millie? The number 3.
Whoa.
And
they
yet,
do.
and yet
1,
you're
2, 3.
somehow the number 3 is failing you. So maybe you are you 9 years old? I don't know.
Probably.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Donny B.
Yes.
Oh, he and his uncle, George Washington, in the last episode took Don't Know the Bow Rules to victory.
Yep. As they should.
Over their sworn enemies from Mossvale, more like Lossvale.
In Lost Vale. or Lost Vale.
Lossvale.
Yeah.
It's really, you really have to pronounce that to make
Yeah.
that hit, don't you? You really have to get that F.
Wait, yeah. I think last time you said Moss Vale, and then while I was listening, I was like, it could have been Lost Vale as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you just said it, so it doesn't matter. It's been a while. I don't remember.
There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So they reinventing what batting could be and just piled on the runs and got the victory. The Sydney press didn't want to know about it. Not impressed. Country cricket ain't nothing.
I could do that easy.
Yeah, it ain't no thing. But Donny B's parents were pretty chuffed with his effort, and they took him cricket shopping.
As they should.
He went on a cricket spree. He's got himself a Roy Boy bat, and some big boy pants.
Oh yeah.
And he's
About time.
And he's on the precipice of manhood.
Yes.
Both in cricketing terms and just pure logistical age terms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who decided that 18? That's such a weird number.
It was me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I got
You
to
would.
choose. And I went 18. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah.
It's got a feel to it. There's sixes.
Also, I was thinking last night, who decided which time zone gets to be the furthest in front? Who decided that? Because what if America was the first ones?
Yeah, I
think that would be that would be everything wrong if they were the first.
I feel like what I'm hearing is, again, we need some offshoot podcasts to explore the historical questions. At the moment, we're exploring historical figures, but we need to answer some historical questions because you know what? I've got no idea why this time zone's ahead of that time zone. They must have just randomly picked it,
or that has something to do with the Earth.
The Earth's rotation. They figured out where it started rotating. Started rotating right here. The sun was here when the Earth started rotating. I don't know.
Exactly. I don't either.
But someone knows.
Yeah.
I bet
someone knows.
They either know why it happened or they know that they just randomly picked somewhere because, they just went, it's got to start somewhere. And we pick here. But why did they pick there? These are the questions you're going to find out on historical answers to historical questions with Rick and Millie.
We'll workshop the name.
Millie and Rick. No, we're locking that name in.
I didn't say that. We've got to come to an agreement.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's not an autocracy. Is that a word?
I don't know.
We'll find out in our new podcast, Historical Answers to Historical Questions. What name to be confirmed.
Yeah.
But so that's where we're at with Donny B, let me tell you. And so now we find him. He's 18.
Whoa! There you go.
He was 17 in the last podcast.
I know, so
hardly any time.
One day past.
Yeah. The very next day. No, he's our Donny B has been invited down to the Sydney cricket ground.
Oh, as he should.
But he's just on the number 2 in the training nets. He's been invited down as a bunch of junior players have been invited by the New South Wales Cricket Association to show their bowling skills.
Oh, well, he is a bowler.
I know. We've recently discovered he's been decimating batting lineups. So he's been sent down there as a leg spinner.
Whoa, there you go.
The state selection committee wants to have a look. So the state selection committee's there and a small group of former test players. Okay. Because they know cricket.
Yeah.
They play cricket. They get cricket.
They are cricket.
They judge cricket. And so they're all having a look at these bowlers.
Yeah.
But there's one of the selectors whose name is Harold Mudgy Cranny. Mudgy's his nickname in brackets.
Oh, okay, in brackets.
His name's Harold Cranny.
Okay.
Harry Cranny.
So Mudgy.
Nook. Why don't they call him Nook and Cranny? I call him Nook for sure, and I'm going to from here on in, as you well know. So Nook and Cranny he's the junior selector. Okay. Very much so. It's his first season of selecting, first season on the job.
Ooh.
Young buck.
Got to pick the right ones.
Nook and Cranny.
Imagine if he picked some really trash.
And for the moment, as he's watching the bowlers, he's forgotten the business of watching the bowlers. Come on, Nook and Cranny. Well, you got one job. You're there to watch the bowlers.
Basic. I
mean. So he stopped watching the bowlers from the front of the nets because guess who's drawn his eye? You know who?
I know who. What's his name? Donny B.
You got it. Phew. All right. So some things are starting to stick in that mind of yours. We've finally got the name Donny B to sort of stick. That's good. Yeah, so he's drawn to have a closer look at the leg spinner from Bowral. As you've rightly guessed, Donny B. Nook and Cranny is impressed by his footwork.
Oh, fancy.
The closer he gets to him, the more impressed he is.
He's just like stealth walking up to him.
He's hypnotized.
He's got some binoculars.
Standing right next to him with binoculars. Just staring.
He's got a zoom feature.
Yeah. So. What's with them feet? How do you make them feet work? Yeah, so he's from a distance, he's like, I think that footwork's impressive. Then he gets out the binoculars, he starts creeping in, and he's like, that footwork is impressive. But he's also, look, from a distance, apart from the footwork, he can tell that he looks a little bit awkward as well, which is typical of country kids who come down from because as we spoke briefly, the country wickets aren't made.
Yeah.
They're like the weird matting. They're like artificial matting. Whereas when you come to the SCG, even in the training nets, mate, you're on turf. Get used to it. But what struck Nook and Cranny, apart from the footwork straight away, was his perfect defense.
What's defense when you're bowling?
He's not. Oh, sorry. Look, I should have pointed out. This is going to make a lot more sense to you now.
When he was batting.
Yeah. That is a good point you raise. He's been drawn to watch. No, I didn't.
It's because I thought you said the leg spinner caught his eye or something like that.
Yeah, and I did, but it made.
So I thought he was bowling.
Yeah, that makes again perfect sense. So the bowlers have all come to try out bowling. I made that point.
Yeah. But you need someone to try on.
Who are they bowling to? They're just rotating. They all get a turn to bat as well.
I get that now.
Donny B's having a bat. That is a very important fact for me. Should have pointed that out. And I'm sorry for any of the confusion that I've clearly caused to Millie and have most likely also caused some Yonky doodlers around the world.
I was like, isn't bowling isn't that attacking? Isn't that what you're doing?
Yeah, all right.
What are you defending? Yourself when the ball comes at you?
Yeah. So hopefully I've reframed the picture for you.
Yeah, I get it now. He's batting.
They've thrown a little leg spinner from barrel in for a bat. Gone. Yeah. Good luck, leg spinner. Good luck, tail ender. I bet you don't even know how to hold a bat. But while he's down there, he's drawn the eye of Nook and Cranny, who's drawn to the footwork. He's down there. He's noticed the perfect defense.
The defense.
So he could block a ball.
Yeah.
He'll block it perfectly. Other bowlers are having a bat, and they're like 86% defense.
Yeah.
I give that a solid, it's a pass. You can sort of block.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 9 is sort of a prime.
Yeah.
Some of these bowlers can sort of defend.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think's the perfect prime number in your mind? What's the ultimate prime?
11.
Donny B's defense is at 11 in terms of prime numbers.
Because 11 is like two ones. That's nice.
100%. I knew you'd have an answer, Millie. I knew it.
And it's the first one after the non-prime.
Yeah. It's
obviously.
It's the reboot.
Yeah.
It's the perfect reboot. So while most bowlers have got a 9 defense, he's got an 11.
Okay, that makes sense.
In every
That's
sense
some good
of the word.
defense.
He's turned his defense up to 11. So he's, whether he's going forward or back, the elbow side. Look, this is just some cricket. Just so you know what a perfect defense looks like.
Okay.
I want to paint the picture. The elbow's high. You got to get that elbow up there. You got to get it up there. The balance, guess what? Perfect.
11.
Yeah. Where's the head? Do you know where the head should be when it's defense? Do you know where your head should be?
On your shoulders.
I mean, yeah. But whether it's defense or offense, when you're playing cricket, you got to get that head over the ball.
Oh, what?
Head over the ball.
What does that mean?
Like when your bat hits when the ball hits the bat,
your head is in.
Your head needs to be over the ball.
Okay.
Over the ball.
Okay.
I'll talk about that endlessly.
Yeah. I've heard it. I just don't.
Yeah.
Didn't know
get your head over the ball. Guess where Donny B's got his head?
Over the ball.
Always. You don't get to an 11 defense if that head's not over the ball.
No, that's a solid 3, maybe.
Yeah. So there's no lifting of the head like the other bowlers when they're having a hit. All the other tail enders, heads all over the place. You're joking. Haven't you looked at the cricket book? Over the ball. But Donny B's nailing it. Nook and Cranny then noticed that when Donny B attacked with a cut shot or a hook shot, the ball crashed low into the net, never uppishly.
Never a 6.
Never lofting, always. Never. And they're tough shots to keep down.
Oh, okay.
The hook shot and the cut shot.
Those ones.
You're always launching them into the air. and he never edged it. He never got the nick. And so Nook and Cranny's like, how's he doing this? That's unusual.
What's going on here?
And then he noticed Donny B's unusual grip.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he have the other hand on top? That'd be weird.
Nook and Cranny had never seen anything like it. Both hands held the bat in an unusual fashion. Both hands.
How? Did he put fingers underneath?
I'm not sure. It says here, I don't know if we're going to be able to paint this picture effectively with words. I feel like a picture would have done a much better job of painting the picture. The lower hand, his right hand, was turned over so far that the handle pressed against the base of the thumb. Can't picture it. Instead of resting against it. So it's sort of just he's got his hand fully turned around almost.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Weird.
And the upper hand, his left hand, was turned so that the wrist was behind the handle. So he's just kind of rotated his hands in a very unusual way. This produced not one, not two, but 3 unique outcomes.
Okay. Are you going to tell me what they are?
I am, but I'm going to preface it with, I doubt we're going to be that impressed by it.
Okay.
It's all going to be just technical cricket stuff. That's my feeling. So strap yourself in because we're getting technical.
Okay.
All right? Because Nook and Cranny, his job is to dissect the technical aspects.
Well, I mean, he's new. He's
a cricketer. All right? And so we owe it to Nook and Cranny to get a little technical.
Okay. We will.
So the first of the 3 outcomes is that with this unique grip, the bat sloped at about 45 degrees to the ground. That's geometry.
What?
All right.
What? Amazing.
Which ensured that the ball was kept down. That's just simply when the ball hits at a 45-degree angle, where's it got to go?
It's going to go that way.
It's got to go down. Simple geometry. Exactly. That's the geometry of triangles, which also relies on the number 3.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's 1. Number 2,
which is not a prime.
Not a prime. Never a prime. The second unusual outcome of his grip, unique outcome of his unusual grip. I got to get it straight in my head.
Wait a second. 2 is a prime.
Oh shit!
we stuffed that up big time.
But because you know how we feel about 2 being a prime. We're like, come on, 2.
No, it is. It's
you
divisible.
love it. I know.
It's divisible by itself and 1.
We all know it's a prime, but we're also like.
I just forgot. I was like, hang on a second.
You're like,
it's the only even prime. We know that.
But we also know if the number 2 left the prime clubhouse and number 9 snuck in, and no one would notice and no one would care. No one would be like, well, this makes no sense.
Except for Pythagoras, maybe. I reckon Pythagoras would be outraged.
Pythagoras would kick that damn door down. He'd be like, hey! And he'd have 2 by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I caught this scallywag trying to scarper. And hey, 9.
What are you doing in here?
That finger food is not for you. Drop the sausage roll and get out. And that happens on a regular basis. Yeah. Pythagoras. I don't know why they even bother putting the door back up.
No.
He's just going to kick it down again.
Exactly. No, because 5 gets bored. 5 gets bored.
Five's always rehinging that door. That's 5's job.
Yeah.
Door maintenance. Second outcome.
Okay. Which
also
is a prime.
Yeah. When the player hooked or cut, the wrists rolled the bat over the ball so that with normal contact, again, where's the ball going?
Down.
Exactly right. So because he's got the unusual thing, as soon as he plays those shots, the wrists are like, roll.
Oh.
They're cocked and ready to roll. He's got them.
I see.
He's got the cock and roll.
Yeah.
He likes to cock and roll the rip. The wrists are cocked and rolled.
Exactly.
So that makes good sense. Uh-huh. Third and final unique outcome of his unusual grip.
Which is also a prime.
I mean, that's 3 prime outcomes.
1. I'm saying...
Oh, shit, you're right. We just can't get it straight.
Oh, you thought I meant 1. I was like, well, no.
Okay, third outcome. With a clean, straight drive, either on the offside or the onside, Nook and Cranny noted that the player didn't loft the ball because the top hand grip acted as a brake. He only lofted the ball when he wanted to. So the way that he was holding with the top hand, when he hits that straight drive down the ground, the top wrist stops the bat flying through to loft the ball. It's like
because the wrist is there.
The wrist can't fly through unless he deliberately wants to do it, unless he alters.
He's got a whole strat. Well done. That's what you get for playing with a stump and a golf ball. Was that what he was doing?
And again, the question has to be asked, if this unusual grip has all of these positive outcomes for cricketing success, why is this grip unusual? Why is this not? You got to ask yourself. This is just me.
People don't want to break their wrists.
I guess it's a less comfortable.
Yeah,
it's just less comfortable. But the outcomes. And does he only have this because of stump water tank training? You've got to say yes.
I mean, no one else did that.
Yeah. So then Nook and Cranny wanders over to the other selectors.
And
he's like, hey, lads, because you can 100% guarantee they were all boys.
Not one female was there.
even today, you could just about 100% guarantee same diff. We can't get into that now. That's a whole rabbit hole for a separate podcast.
No, I was there actually. I was there.
Millie was there. So
yeah,
Millie
I was there.
So Nook and Cranny wanders over to Millie and goes, hey, Milzo. And you're like, don't call me that. No one ever calls me that. He's like, sorry, I'm new. It's my first season. What do you reckon about the leggy from Bowral? And what did you say, Millie? What did you say? What did you notice?
Well, I mean, his batting's all right, but have you seen him do the coin toss and the umpiring as well? and putting the thing over when it's raining and being in the crowd?
And Nook and Cranny's like, he puts covers on.
Yeah.
This guy. And he's like, thanks for your input. Milzo. And
yeah, that's all I was there for. Then I left.
Yeah. And then he wanders over to another selector, Dick Jones. Dickie J.
DJ.
And the DJ was, he says he's impressed.
Okay.
DJ says he reckons he's a bit raw. I mean, we could all agree Donny B's raw. He's just a kid. He's only just started wearing pants.
Exactly.
So he's like, DJ says he's raw but determined.
I see.
And he's also clearly got quick reflexes.
Quick
on the draw. He's raw but quick on the draw. So then Nook and Cranny wanders over to the former test players and asks their opinion.
Yeah.
And one of them responded that he didn't
one of them. That was Thomas.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Former test player Tommy says he didn't like his footwork much.
Just because he's better than you.
Yeah, but jealous. You're a has-been, Tommy. Let it go. But then he did qualify it by saying that he obviously had a good eye.
Yeah.
He's like, crap feet, good eye. If you could teach him how to do the cricket dance, he'd be much better.
Yeah.
And then another one noticed, another test player whose name was
Kingston.
Kingston. The King.
Yeah.
The King chimes in.
Yeah.
That he noticed that if with that footwork, if Bradman got in a minor tangle with his feet to a spinner. Oh no, he noticed that if Bradman got into a minor tangle with his feet to the spinners, when he waltzed down the wicket, he still managed to reach and drive the ball even when it pitched wide.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's like, hey. He's like, Tommy, You're picking on the footwork, but the king here has noticed that even when he dances down the wicket and gets all messed up, still hits the ball. So how bad can the footwork be? Tommy, sit yourself down. The king has spoken. Now, Nook and Cranny himself, he takes all his feedback on board.
Yeah.
The king and Tommy, they get into a fist fight, as they always do. They have yet to turn up to a selection meeting without beating the living daylights out of each other. People are like, should we stop inviting the king and Tommy to have a look at these kids?
They give great advice. They give great feedback.
Before they start wailing on each other, they give solid feedback.
It's like the devil and the angel, like they give opposite.
Oh, yeah. You need both sides of the coin.
Yeah, exactly.
So that Donny B can flip it before the game. But Nook and Cranny, a little history on Nook and Cranny. He himself was a hard-hitting Sydney first-grade player.
Oh, yeah?
And an occasional state opener. So he played in the big leagues.
Okay.
Not the biggest leagues.
No.
But he'd made a name for himself.
Yeah.
And he liked Bradman even more when he hit the ball hard.
Okay.
Because that's how Nook and Cranny like to play.
Yeah, surely.
And he was, look, you got to say, of all the selectors, Nook and Cranny took a real shine to Donny B. And after the net session, he's like, Donny B, come over. Donny B wanders over. And he asked Donny B if he would be interested in playing for his club.
Ooh.
In Sydney, called their club's name was Cumberland.
Cumberland.
More like Dumberland, am I right?
That's funny. Dumberland.
So he's like, hey, kid, I like your work out there. Come and play for us.
Yeah.
And it was this was the only invitation that Donny B got from anyone. But it was the only one he needed. He's like, one invitation's enough. How many do I need? And so Donny B is excited.
Yeah.
Cock a hoop. He's in Sydney, playing cricket.
Yeah.
And he's already been invited to play for a district club in Sydney.
As he should.
Could not be excited. So then he goes back to Bowral with his dad, gets back to Bowral. He's telling all his friends. He's like, who's got two thumbs and plays for Cumberland? Thumberland. And they're all excited, but then he finds out negotiations have fallen through.
Aww.
Cumberland.
That's so dog.
Cumberland did not want to meet the costs of Donny B travelling to Sydney every week to play cricket.
Just let him move in with old mate. What's his name?
I feel like they could have found a way. So they didn't want to front the train fare every week.
Fair enough.
So basically in today's money, they couldn't be bothered paying Donny B $50 a week to play cricket.
So dog.
And you got to say he would have been worth it. I don't know he's Donny B.
Do you reckon they would have regretted that later?
100%. So Donny B's gutted.
Yeah.
No Sydney club was so far interested in him. He was 18 years old, and the prospect of going back to games in the bush, I've got to tell you, did not fill him with enthusiasm.
No. He's already been there, done that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I want to move forward in my career.
Yeah.
But, if that's the only place he can play, that's where he goes to play. So he turns up, he buries his feelings in his next cricket match. He crickets his feelings away, with a perfectly executed 170 not out.
Very good.
For Bowral playing against Exeter. More like.
Just exit.
Yeah, more like, Exeter and don't come back at her. So he's gone out. He's put all his feelings into some angry cricket shots.
Yep.
And 170 not out. And Nook and Cranny and the other selectors, they get word. The word slowly travels that Bradman's just piling on runs again. And they're forced to again, just talk about how do we get Donny B?
Yeah.
What can we do? Surely there's a way we can involve Donny B.
Just have him move in with you, buddy. I swear.
Yeah, they're not trying that hard, are they? But then they decided before they picked the state side that was going to take on Queensland.
Queensland
soon in Brisbane.
Yeah.
They should have. Look, they've got the team they think they're going to pick.
Okay.
And then they've got a whole bunch of kids that they might pick at some point.
Yeah.
They're knocking on the door. So they decide to have a game between the two, a game between the probables and the possibles.
Whoa.
So there's the probable team that's going to play for New South Wales. And then there's all the possible kids who might play.
$10 on the possible kids. I mean, yeah, possible.
I mean, it's a classic underdog tale.
Yeah.
You'd love to be playing on the possibles. You've got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
The probables,
they're going to win. They got Donny B, surely.
I mean, way to make the probables feel anxious.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, guys, you're probably going to be picked for the team. You're like, oh, great. But we are going to play you against a bunch of kids who we'd much rather pick than you. But they just haven't shown enough. So if you do anything wrong in this game, and any of these kids does good, guess what's going to happen? So I know cricket's a tricky game and you could fail at any moment. But if you do fail, you won't play. Have fun, kids.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a probables versus possibles game.
Okay.
And Bradman receives an urgent telegram that says, you are selected to play trial match. Stop. Sydney Cricket Ground. Stop. Wednesday, 10th. Commencing 10 o'clock. Stop. Fares will be paid. Stop. Wire stating weather available. Stop. That was the telegram. I added the stops because surely that's how they would have sent the telegram.
Surely.
So he's been picked to play, I'm guessing, in the possibles, naturally.
Oh, I mean, he's
underdogging his way to the big leagues. They've decided to pay his train fare. That's a win.
Nice.
He's already doing better.
Yeah.
So he's got to send a telegram back to say whether he's available. What if Barrel doesn't have telegram capabilities? They must, because he got the telegram.
Yeah, I reckon they do.
I mean, everyone had telegram back in the day. So look, I think that's the place we've got to leave it.
It's exciting.
The Donny B roller coaster.
Yeah.
He's playing for Cumberland. He's not playing for Cumberland. He's selected for the possibles. He's got to send a telegram. Can he send a telegram? We don't know.
Telegram.
A telegram.
It's because Cumberland and telegram. That's in Cumberland. That's what telegrams are.
No, I just thought it was because the lady that runs the telegram shop's name was Kelly. So she's like, oh, you're here to send a telegram. And they're like, we get it, Kelly.
Yeah.
It's a funny joke. Say it every time we send a telegram. And she's like, I know, but it hasn't caught on yet. So everyone can just start referring to them as telegrams. I can stop making the joke. All right. Look, I'm trying to get some traction for her. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing my bit. You do your bit.
I don't think so.
Such a naysayer. Such a real naysayer.
It's because I never say telegram, so
yeah.
I just don't feel the need.
I never got to send a telegram.
Rest in peace, Dad.
I know. I feel like it would have been fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it had a real charm to it, but maybe it's just because it's, it's got an oldie worldy feel to it. There's things you'll never do.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, so accept it. I feel like carrier pigeons and telegrams were super charming. And tell me you wouldn't have wanted.
You're telling me who's scared of birds?
Yes, I know. I was just going to say, tell me you wouldn't have wanted to strap a little message to a pigeon's leg. And then I realized you 100% would not have wanted. But maybe if that was just a part of life, you wouldn't have had any issues with birds.
Yeah, maybe.
That would have reframed what birds meant to your life. Like they wouldn't have just been this weird, annoying pests that sometimes, come for you. They would have been just an integral part of our communication industry.
Yeah.
And you would have been doing it from when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot.
So thanks a lot, telephones and telegrams and everything that superseded the carrier pigeon
how
industry.
do pigeons know where to go? Like, I know they have a good sense of direction, but how do they know where you want them to go?
Exactly. You'll find out on the next episode of Historical Answers to Historical Questions with Brick and Millie.
Also known as...
No, it's a whole different podcast, Millie. Historical Answers to Historical Questions is a whole different podcast because it's not this podcast because this podcast is... Oh, wait, that's not how we end it. Millie, you're gonna have to bring it home for me. I've lost my way.
And we'll talk about this more in the next episode of
Yonks Ago. Yonks Ago. Yonks Ago. Yonks Ago. Yonks Ago.